that song go? It's like, hello, hello from the other side. I must have caught 1,000 times. Okay. Oh, all right, there we go. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Journey and you are tuning into my Q2 reading wrap up. All right, y'all should know how this works. If you're new here, then you'll learn very quickly. Okay, this is just a wrap up of all the reading I did in Q2, which is April, May, and June of the year. All right, so I do have to admit that unfortunately, my Q2 was worse than my Q1. I cannot believe this. Like, I really thought I did so good in Q2. Imagine my surprise when I tally up how many books I read in Q2. And you know how many books I read? I read 26 books, which isn't bad. 26 is a really good number. That's a lot of books. Unfortunately, I read 36 books in Q1. So somehow I read 10 less than Q1, and in my Q1 video, which I'll link below, I was talking about how Q1 was horrible reading wise. Imagine my surprise when I realized that Q2 was even worse. The books I read though, great. I read some kick-ass books. I just didn't read a lot of them. So I really need to lock in for Q4 and Q3, the rest of the year. I need to crank it up a notch. All right, many notches. Okay, because I'm currently like 28 books behind on my reading goal. And as I've already said before, I'm in competition with 2025 Journey. All right, this bitch right here. And she's not winning. No, sir. No, ma'am. No turkey, no ham. Okay? I don't know why I just said that. I've never heard anybody say that in my entire life. No turkey, no ham. Anyways. Whew. This girl can't beat me, okay? Me in 2026, I'm better than her. Sorry. So I'm kicking it up a notch, many notches, as I just said, and I'm gonna rock and roll the rest of the year. Anyways, let's get into my Q2 wrap up. I got some matcha. Hold on. Let's do an ASMR sip. It's a matcha lemonade and it's delicious. It's peach flavored. Like, I'm currently obsessed with matcha. And now that I know I can make it at home, it's over. It's over. Because I literally bought one at a flea market on Sunday the other day. And it was like $8. No, thank you. We have matcha at home. All right. So yeah, grab a matcha, grab some coffee, grab some tea, grab a snack because y'all know I can yap. Hey, I ate that. And sit down a while, you listen to me yap about some books, and yeah, let's get into it. Also, I get all of my reading stats from Storygraph, Fable, and Goodreads. These are my top 3 book tracking apps. I love them all very dearly. I do not have a number one. People ask me that all the time. I cannot decide on that. That's why I use all 3 of them because I love them all for many different reasons. So without further ado, let's get into my wrap up. In April, I read 11 books. In May, I read 8 books. In June, I read 7 books. For a grand total of 26 books in Q2. I would, say clap, but no. Like, this may seem like I'm being really bratty about this, but like, I am a reader that reads like constantly, and not doing that is irritating me because I don't know why. Like, if I knew that I was binging more TV, then that would make sense. If I knew that I was watching more movies, listening to more music, like if I was replacing reading with something, then I would be like, okay, that makes sense. But I can't think of anything that is replacing the reading other than doom scrolling. It has to be the phone. It has to be the phone, okay? And I'm pissed at myself because I know better than that. I do. So 26 books is really great. Some people read 26 books in a year, and that is amazing. I do not want to like shit on that because 26 books, no matter what, is good. Even if you read 1 book, that is amazing. Like, I want people to read regardless. So the numbers don't necessarily matter, but to me, it matters. And I'm just not doing what I know I could be doing. Like, I can do better. And so that's where the vibe is coming from about why I'm like 26 books, is because I know that I can do better and I want to do better and I will do better. So I'm going to try to keep the spirits high, but I also am just very annoyed with myself. I listened to 15 audiobooks. I read 11 digital books and I read 0 physical books. I don't know what is wrong with me and the physical books, but it's not looking too good for us. And one of my goals for the year was to read, I believe, at least 24 physical books. I think as of right now, mid-year, I'm at like 5 physical books for the whole year. That's crazy. I've actually been on a book buying ban because there's just no way that I need to keep buying physical books if I'm not reading them. No. If I had the space, yeah, but I don't have the space. So it's like, I cannot keep doing this. I need to lock in on the physical books. And this is so crazy to me because I used to only read physical books. Like before I had my Kindle, I did not listen to audiobooks. I only read physical books. And now I cannot for the life of me sit down and read a physical book. And I hate that. I want to get back to the basics. Okay. So I'm locking in. All right. Actually take a shot every time I say lock in. I don't have any liquor, so I'm going to sip. That's one. I think I've said it 3 times. Cheers. Because that's the best way I can describe it, is I am hyper focused on these goals because no, I need to get the shit together. Anyways, yeah, that's my tally of the type of books that I read. In Q2, I finished 2 series, which is really exciting because I love finishing series. All right. First series that I finished was the Curve series by Danielle Allen. The Curve series consists of 3 books, and we have Curvy Girl Summer, Plus Size Player, and Big Girl Blitz. So I absolutely loved this series so much. I've actually met Danielle Allen, and Big Girl Blitz specifically really touched my heart, and I don't want to start crying because this book really put me through it. Okay. Like, whew. The Curve series is about 3 friends who I'm blanking on their names. We have Aaliyah, Jasmine, and what's her name? Okay, I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. Once I find it, I'm gonna be like, duh. Nina. Duh, I knew that. So we have Aaliyah, Jasmine, and Nina, and they're 3 friends on, the curvier side. And basically it's about them finding love and the different obstacles and trials and tribulations they be going through. I really, really enjoy Danielle Allen's writing. I think she's an awesome writer. And I love how she's able to tie broader topics into the books, even though they're romance books. So we had Jasmine, she's dealing with an ailing aunt in Big Girl Blitz, and she's the caretaker of her aunt. And so we get a little bit of that. She's also has anxiety, I think, or something like that. In Plus Size Player, we get Nina, who is dealing with being on the curvier side. She's a model. And so we kind of get her dealing with that aspect in her profession and how, people don't really want to cast bigger models. And then in Curvy Girl Summer, we're dealing with Aaliyah and kind of she is dealing with some family things and, just the struggles of being a single woman and turning 30 and just all the whole thing. Okay. But yeah, I really, really loved these books. They were all so good. I rated Curvy Girl Summer 4 stars, Plus Size Player 4 stars, and Big Girl Blitz was a 5-star read for me. So I love this series. Definitely check it out if you haven't. And if you've read them, let me know which book is your fave in the series. A series that I started in Q2 is the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. So in this book series, we have Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. Also, this is a 5-book series, so there will be 2 other books. Do I think this book should be a 5-book series? No. It literally could have stopped at the 3rd book, but I'm not Rebecca Yarros, so it's not my series, so she can do whatever she wants. She's losing me a little bit. She is. So this series is good. I really love Fourth Wing. I rated that 5 stars. Iron Flame, she lost me. That was a 3-star for me. And then she got me back a little bit with Onyx Storm, and I rated that 4 stars. The Empyrean series is about Violet, and I don't know what year this is set in. I don't think they have years. Anyway, it's a fantasy, so it's made up, okay? And basically, Violet is a dragon rider in the series. I honestly can't even explain any more than that. There's dragons, they're fighting, there's magic. Yeah, I really can't explain a lot more than that because I literally don't know anything else to say. I feel like everybody has heard about this series. If you haven't, go look it up. I really, really want to like it more than I have been. I'm holding out hope that book 4 and 5 will like reel me back in, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, y'all. Now for my Fable stats. All right, let's get into them. This is going to be kind of wacky because I'm doing this after Q2 has like been over for a while. So this is probably a little bit of my beginning of my Q3 stats too. Sorry. Anyways, let's keep it moving. My reader summary is as follows. Romance fan, your reading journey is packed with thrilling romances. These darling love stories add a dash of passion to our experiences. Okay, kind of loving that. Currently, I'm at 70 books read for the year. Right now, my best streak is 55 days. I think that's less than when I was in Q1. I think my streak started over for some reason. And my average rating is still at 3.8 stars. That has never moved. I don't know how they calculate that, and I wish I did. I probably can just Google it, but I don't feel like doing that. Right now, my most read genre is romance. I'm at 32 books for the year. That's kind of crazy. Number 2 is thrillers, and number 3 is literary fiction. That's interesting. I feel like I don't really read lit fic like that, but all right. Number 4 is mystery, and number 5 is LGBTQ+. Okay. Let me get into my diverse rating. My most read authors this year so far: Alice Feeney, India Carter, Rachel Reid, and Danielle Allen. Frida McFadden coming in at my top 5 authors of the year so far. That's interesting. So in Q2, I had 3 5-star reads, 8 4-star reads, 14 3-star reads, and 1 2-star read, which means I had 0 1-star reads, which yay! I love. I don't really like giving lower than 3, but I will if I have to. Because I'm going to rate it what I feel like rating it. And if I feel like the book deserves a 2 or a 1, that's what it's going to have to get. All right, let's get into my 5-star reads of Q2. Starting us off in no particular order, I have Big Girl Blitz by Danielle Allen. So this book is also signed. Look at that. It's a beautiful signature. It's a beautiful cover. Also, let's get into it. It's so cute. I love it. So this book was actually my book of the month in my book club that I'm in. I think it was May. And it's an in-person book club. And Danielle Allen, who I believe she's native to Virginia. Don't quote me on that. But she came to our book club in Richmond. I will show some pictures all over, maybe some videos. Okay, so I got to meet her and hug her and tell her how much this book meant to me. So I don't think I've shared on here, but I had an aunt who passed away almost 10 years ago. Her name was Kelly, and she was my best friend. I love her truly, truly so much, and I miss her all the time. And that's actually what this tattoo is for. It's for her. It's a birthday cake with her birth date on it, the 28th of December. And then I'm sorry, I'm going to spiel, okay? But basically, my aunt was very, very near and dear to my heart. And Jasmine in this book is very, very close to her Aunt Addie. And Aunt Addie is going through some health complications and it's deteriorating. And so Jasmine is back in town to take care of her and kind of help her through this summer because she's a teacher, so she's out of work for the summer. And then she meets Lamar. And they spend the summer together. And he is the MMC. And honestly, the relationship between Jasmine and Lamar really takes a backseat for me because the way that I was able to connect with Jasmine and Aunt Addie's relationship, I mean, I sobbed. This book made me so emotional, way more emotional than I thought it would. And I just loved it so much because it really felt like I was reading about my own aunt. And yeah, I just really, really loved it. I actually listened to the audiobook and I bought this for the book club so that she would sign the book. And yeah, it was just really good. Jasmine pissed me off like a lot of the book. I think she was doing too much. I think Lamar was doing a lot also. But after like talking with Danielle Allen, and she did like a panel discussion with the founder of my book club, it was really awesome to hear her like thought process and how she was writing the characters and why they did what they did and just getting a better look and understanding of them. So now that I know what I know, they don't necessarily irritate me. But when I was reading it, I was so over both of them. Overall, really, really good. I think it was like the perfect conclusion to the series and I just love it so, so much. I cannot recommend it enough. Next up on my 5-star list is Dolly All the Time by Annabel Monaghan. So this was a very pleasant surprise. This was another book club read for a virtual book club that I'm in, and I was very skeptical. I've heard things about Annabel Monaghan, not really a lot though, but I've seen her books all over, and I was just nervous because I just wasn't sure if I would like it. Turns out I loved it. This book was so good. I did not think it would be that good. I really, really didn't, y'all. Like, I can admit when I'm wrong, and I was so wrong about this book. It was so good. So this book is about Dolly, who is a single mother, and she has to go back to her hometown to help her father during the summer. And she runs into like one of the sons of this like prestigious, wealthy family in her town, and they have to fake date for whatever reason. And wow, I don't know if I like fake dating or not, but I liked it in this one. Okay, this book made me laugh. It made me cry. It's no spice, which I love. I think the spicy books have gotten out of hand. Okay. And I'm not someone that like doesn't read spice at all. Usually I do read a lot of spicy books, but I think I'm turning a new leaf. Maybe it's just getting to be too much, but I really, really enjoyed that this was a clean, not spicy book. What is it called? Closed Door. And I loved Annabel's writing. I think she has such a way with words. I really loved the character development in Dolly, but also the MMC. I am blanking on his name. It's like Stewart or something like that. Actually, it's not Stewart. What is his name? Let me look. Because I'm not going to have y'all be thinking his name is Stewart and it's not Stewart. Oh, it's Stewart. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah. So the character development between the two of them was really awesome. I really loved all of the characters, actually, even the minor characters, like the rest of Dolly's family, her son, her friend. Everyone played their part very, very well. There was a couple of things that I did not like. Of course, like no book is perfect, but yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. I rated it 5 stars, and I definitely would read another book by this author. This is the first book that I've read by her, but now I want to read like her whole catalog. So definitely recommend this. If you've read it, let me know. And the last 5-star read of Q2 that I read was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. So believe it or not, the book is worth the hype, y'all. The book is worth the hype. I know you probably don't want to hear that if you haven't read it because it's super hyped up, but it's worth the hype. Like, I did not read it because I was like, oh, this is super overhyped. No way this book is that good because people are going crazy over it, right? Unfortunately, they are right. I'm sorry. They are. I ate this book up. I actually listened to this book and the other 2 books on graphic audio. Chef kiss. Wow. It was literally like a movie was playing in my ears. I loved it. It was so well done. I think it really, really helped me get through the hump of it being a fantasy book. I have like a love-hate relationship with fantasy books. I don't know. Like the fantasy books that I've read, I have genuinely enjoyed, but it's so hard for me to like get into them initially. So I was nervous for the longest time to read this because it was overhyped and it was fantasy. And I was like, I'm not going to like it, which I was right. I didn't like it. I loved it. The other 2 books, we're not talking about those. But Fourth Wing, Rebecca Yarros knew what she needed to do and she did it. Fourth Wing is about Violet and she's in college, Baskaya, and she is learning to be a dragon rider, and she gets like the biggest and baddest dragon like ever, basically. And everybody is like, she's so tiny, and there's a lot of like fighting and war is breaking out. There's a lot going on. I can't really explain it. I already said this when I was talking about the whole series. Just go read it. You'll love it. If you don't love it, I can't help you because it's good that everybody should love it, honestly. I also really enjoy Rebecca Yarros' writing. So even though this is a fantasy book, I feel like she's true to herself in her writing. And I really, really liked how everything came together. I really liked how she wrote Violet. Who is her MMC? What is his name? I am blanking on his name. Xavier. Zayden. That's his name. His name is Zayden. This book is spicy. Also, I didn't expect that. I was kind of shook. I was like, oh, they're getting jiggy. Okay. I did not know that this was spicy and I was surprised, but I mean, it was fine. Overall, I still really liked it. It was really good. If you're going to read it, definitely read the graphic audio. That's what I'd recommend because this was on Kindle Unlimited at one point. I don't know if it's still on there, but I tried to physically read it and I read like 5 pages and I was like, oh, this is too much. But when I listened to the graphic audio, I was like locked in. Oh. I was, very focused and I was able to fly through it. So yeah, I absolutely ate this book up and you will too if you go read it. I hope you do at least. All right, going into my 4-star reads in no particular order, I have Bright Over Bloodhaven by M.L. Wang. So this book was a book club pick for, I think, May or June for a book club that I'm in on Fable. And I loved this book. This was a fantasy / sci-fi. I think it's probably more leaning towards fantasy, but it has like sci-fi elements, I feel like. This book was great. This book was really, really good. I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it. I listened to the audiobook and it was so good. This book is about Sakona and she is a wizard of like the highest magistry that you can have in the city she's in because it's like built off of magic. And she is the first and only female that has been able to practice at her level of magic. And what comes with that is that she learned, some secrets of the city that just is not what she expected. And it all just goes down from there. Okay. Like it takes a turn. The ending was crazy, literally nuts. I would love to see this as a movie. I think that this would be a crazy movie and I would be front and center. Opening theater night, opening weekend, opening night in the theater. Okay. I really, really enjoyed the author's writing. I've never read anything by this author. I don't know if this is like a debut or if she's written it or if I don't know the gender of the author. So if they have written anything after this book or before this book, but I would definitely read something else by them. They completely just ate this book up. I mean, every little thing that was made up didn't feel made up, and all of the characters played their part so well. I really, really enjoyed the character development between the main characters. It was so crazy because I did not think it was going to happen like that. I was rooting for the main character, but I was also like, girl, what are you finna do? I was really scared for her. But yeah, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend this. I think that everybody should read it almost, because I think there's like a deeper meaning to the story. And I feel like in today's day and age with the government that we have in America. So yeah, I think it would be a really good book to read considering those things. Next book on the list is Play Along by Liz Tomforde. This book is the 4th book in the Windy City series, and honestly, it's my favorite book of the series. I gotta admit it, okay? Kennedy and Isaiah are my OTP. I loved them. I ate this book up. I just love them so much. So I guess this book would be considered fake dating, but I don't really know because they're technically married. So I think it's considered fake dating though. So this book is about Kennedy and Isaiah, and Kennedy is the physical therapist on the baseball team that Isaiah plays for, and they get married in a drunken one night stand type of deal in Vegas. But they have to like stay married for a year because of their jobs. And so basically they fake date for a year. And of course, things happen. And yeah, I just really love this book so much because I just love Isaiah. He is probably my favorite guy of the series just because he loves Kennedy down. He loves her so bad, and I love that trope. He definitely loves her more than she loves him, and in a good way. Like, I think she loves him too, for sure. But he loved her from like the moment he saw her, and he never gave up in all of the years prior to this book, okay? By the time we get to the 4th 4th book. The first book happened like 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago in the timeline of the books. Okay. So like he's been wearing her down and he got her like, I'm sorry, I have to stand. And he's super protective of her and she is the same way to him. Like he's colorblind and she got him like glasses so that he can see colors correctly and just, they're just so sweet. I just love them so much. I really, really enjoyed this book. It was super special to see kind of like Kennedy's family dynamics. It was super special for them to be able to come together and just their love blossom and grow, even though like it started off really crazy. And yeah, this is spicy. Yeah, but I still enjoyed it. It was really, really good. And I love this series. If you have not read the Windy City series, go read it. Start with Windy City. Do not skip it. Apparently some people skip the first book. I don't know why you would do that. I loved Windy City. So go read the books in order. Thanks. And the last book on my 4-star list is Golden Girl by Ellen Hildebrand. So I was really excited for this book because this is my first book by this author. I've heard great things about her. I've also seen so many TV adaptations of her books. I think one just came out recently. I think it's the 5-Star Weekend. It's on Peacock. So I want to read that book also. But this is my first book by her and I loved it. I see why everyone loves her books. I see why there's so many adaptations coming out for her books, because she writes super well. I really, really enjoyed it. I think she gives like very like perfect beach read author vibes. So Golden Girl is about, who is the main character? Y'all, once I finish the book, it's like, I don't know anything about it. Okay, how did I forget that? This book is about Vivian, who is a mother of 3. She's like in her late 40s, early 50s, I think. And she is hit by a car while she's running, doing her regular routine, and so she dies. That's not a spoiler because you literally find that out on the back of the book. Okay, just saying. All right. But she gets stuck in this like in between like being alive and like going up to heaven. So while she's in this limbo, she gets 3 nudges to change the outcome of something that's happening on Earth. You also are seeing like everyone trying to figure out who killed her, like who ran her over. And yeah, I absolutely loved this book. It was really, really good. I really liked the writing, the characters, those kids, crazy as hell. Okay. They needed their mama. And yeah, I cried because it was just so sad that she died. Like I was waiting and hoping to see if, you know, there was like a different outcome than that. Unfortunately, there wasn't, which I mean, she tells you she dies. So I mean, yeah, but I really enjoyed it. I would really like this one to be a TV show or a movie, but I don't think people would like it. Well, I don't know. I think I only think that because I read it. So I would like the one that I read to be an adaptation. But regardless, it was a really good like first book by Ellen, and I can't wait to read more by her. Starting off my 3-star reads in no particular order, I have Rights of the Starling by Devney Perry. So this is a really sad one because I really, really love Shields of Sparrow. I rated that 5 stars, I'm pretty sure, and I ate it up. It was so good. So imagine my surprise when I finally get Rights of the Starling and I'm reading it and I don't like it. Like, I was shook. This was one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and it really let me down. I love Devney's writing, but this book, I feel like it just kind of played in our face. So I can't say too much because I don't want to spoil it, because my biggest gripe with the book is like the biggest plot twist. So it's kind of hard to kind of explain what the book is about because I know that I'm going to spoil it. So I'm not going to say too much, but just for the simple fact that I feel like I get why she did the book the way she did it. I think that this book was probably necessary for us to know for the 3rd book and to tie everything together. But I wish that she had done some things different, considering that I was so excited to read what I thought it was, but it wasn't what I thought it was, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense because, again, I can't say too much because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, so take that. I hope that's not too big of a spoiler. I don't think it is. Next up, I have These Heathens by Mia McKenzie. I ended up giving this book actually 3.5. And I don't know. I think that I just expected more out of the book. It was something that everyone I saw was really raving about and they really enjoyed. And then I read it and I was like, oh, it's cool. I think that I just was looking for a little more than what the book gave, if that makes sense. So this book is about Doris, who is 17, and she lives in this small town in Georgia, and she travels with her school teacher to Atlanta to get an abortion. And she's there for like the weekend, and a whole bunch of stuff happens. I mean, like, she's just having a ball, really. Like, the book is set in 1960. So Doris actually ends up meeting like Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott, and it like that just seemed kind of random. I didn't really necessarily care for that part. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like it started out really good, and then I feel like it kind of went sideways a little bit. And then the ending was just like, okay. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. I just wanted more. Now I have Strangers, a memoir of marriage by Belle Burden. So honestly, this book could have been lower. But I don't really like reading memoirs less than 3. So, because it's someone's life story, you know, I feel like it's really hard to rate those. Like, how can I tell you your life story is a 1 star? That's kind of rude. So a 3 is the lowest I've rated a memoir, just because I just don't like to rate them lower than that. I rather DNF it than rate it like a 1 star. So I digress. Anyways, this book is about Belle and her husband of like 20 years, I think, and they get a divorce during the pandemic. But leading up to the divorce, okay, she finds out that he's having an affair with like someone that he works closely with. I don't think it was a co-worker. That doesn't really matter, actually. So disregard. And he walks out the house. He leaves her and the kids. They have 3 kids, and he leaves her and the kids, and that's it. And the book is basically her trying to piece herself back together, her life back together after this like catastrophic, honestly, event, because I feel like a divorce after 20 years and you're kind of blindsided. Yeah, that's catastrophic. I would say it's catastrophic. And yeah, I feel for her. I don't think that any woman should go through what she has gone through, but also reading it, baby, you just gotta be smarter. Like, mind you, this is a woman who like came for money. She had trust. She had women in her family who have gone through divorce. She literally was like doing things that her financial advisors literally told her not to do, but she was so in love, blinded by the love for her husband, that she, you know, was doing a lot of crazy things. And like, I don't know. I just can't really I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't feel for her, but also I'm just like, I don't know, baby. I don't know. You gotta be smarter, especially when you have kids. You can't put yourself in a position where like you are depending on someone like for everything. As a grown woman, you want to be a stay-at-home mom? Yeah, go for it. You need to be pulling out cash when you go to the store. You need to have him give you an allowance or something. I don't fucking know. I'm not a stay-at-home mom, so I don't know how y'all do that shit. Okay. But like when it came to her story, I could only give so much grace, because I'm just like, I don't know, as a mother myself, I'm never, ever, 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 and I mean, never say never, but never, ever, ever, am I going to put myself in a position that I can't put like food on the table for my child because someone has locked all my credit cards and my debit cards. Like, that sounds crazy to me. And it got to a point that I'm reading it and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, her head was literally in the sand for like basically the whole marriage when it came to financial stuff. And then they get a divorce and she's starting from ground zero. Also, it was 2020, and she is talking about in the book that they're not sure who's going to keep the freaking country club membership, and they are giving it to the ex-husband. And there's like a long entry in the book about that. I don't think it's like a whole chapter, but it's like a significant thing that I'm remembering. And I'm like, baby, people are dying, okay? You don't fucking need a country club membership. Like, get over yourself. Like, I'm sorry. I can't feel bad for this rich white woman who literally is okay. Like, besides mentally, she's fine. Okay, so sorry. I don't really care. Apparently, this is being adapted into a movie. So, yeah. That's it. I'm going to stop while I'm ahead because I could go on about this for days. So yeah. Up next, I have Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. So this book is about Mallory, who is a nanny for this couple and their like 8-year-old son, Teddy. And at first, everything is cool. Everything is great. And then Teddy starts drawing these really crazy pictures. And it's freaking Mallory out, and she's bringing it up to the parents. The parents are like, okay, no more coloring or whatever. And things are still happening. And yeah, this is the second book that I read by this author. And I think that I've come to the conclusion that maybe his writing isn't for me. Because the other book I read by him was The Last One at the Wedding. And I heard really great things about that book, but it pissed me off. I think I rated it 2 stars. I rated this book 3 stars. So I just don't think he's for me. This book, it was good, okay? And then I think it just went off the rails a little bit towards the end, and then it ended. And so I was like, okay, like, all right, I guess, pop off. I don't know. It just wasn't for me, I think. And I've heard really great things about this book also. But again, I think it's his writing. The main character pissed me off. I don't know. It was just all over the place a little bit. But I don't think I'm going to read anything else by him. Yeah, that's all I got on this book. Up next, I have Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. So I think I've talked about Alice on here a couple of times. I love Alice Feeney. This is like my 3rd or 4th book that I read by her. This is the first book I rated 3 stars by her though. This was just all over the place. Okay. This book is about 4 women. We have Edith, Patience, Cleo, and Frankie. And it's basically how all of their stories are intertwined. And I think it was just too much. Okay. Also, the big twist that like ended up happening, I was like, not even really, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like by the time we got to the twist, I had just like fatigue from everything else that has gone on. And Alice Feeney does a lot of twists and turns in her books, and usually they hit, but this one was a miss. It was fine. It was okay, but it was just too much. And it just was like, okay, so when is this going to like end? Like, dang. Like, also, it was really hard to keep track of the characters. Maybe because I listened to it via audio, but 4 ladies and it's like 4 different POVs. So it was just too much going on already with the 4 different POVs. But then it was trying to keep track of everybody else in the other POVs. Like, no, thank you. So yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part, but it's just obviously not my favorite Alice Feeney book. Okay, and the last book on my 3-star read list that I would like to talk about is Honey by Imani Thompson. This was a book club pick as well, and I really was looking forward to reading it. I heard good things. I was like, oh, it's going to be like, you know, weird psychological thriller, Black FMC. So yeah. It was good until it wasn't, until we went off the deep end. So this book is about Yrsa, who is a student at Cambridge in the PhD department, and she ends up going on a vigilante murder spree. Okay. And it just got to a point. And I was like, okay. It escalated super quickly, and I get why, but then it just had me feeling bad for the victims. And I didn't like that because the victims should be getting what they deserved, but then they started not to. It took a turn, and I was like, whoa. Where are we going with this? And so, yeah, I really like the author's writing. I think this might be a debut, but maybe not. I don't know for sure. I think my review on Goodreads, I was like, I see where the author was going. I just don't think that it was like executed right. I don't know. This book kind of reminds me of My Sister, the Serial Killer. I do not remember the author's name, but that book, I think I rated 3 stars also. I think that like with both of these books, the beginning has so much potential and it's so good, but then we get to like the middle and the ending and it kind of just feels like there's no more character progression or development. And maybe that's because like it's like a crazy main character. You know what I mean? She's like kind of unhinged, that type of deal. So it's like you don't really know what you're going to get with her, but I don't know. I just wanted more. I wanted better. I wanted it to kind of just, I don't know what I wanted, but what I got wasn't it. So that's why I rated it 3 stars, but overall it was still good. I think I would still recommend it, but it's just a very interesting book. All right, y'all, let's get into my 2-star read of Q2, which is Tough Guy by Rachel Reid. So this is the 3rd book in the Game Changer series, and I wanted to like this one so badly, but no. Like, this book pissed me off so bad. It took me so long to read because the main characters were annoying me so badly. This book is about Fabian and Ryan, and they're like opposites attract. And it started off good, but then we're getting to like the 85-90% mark of the book, and they're still miscommunicating. What? The main characters were annoying me so bad in this book, okay? Like, I was over them, okay? This book is about Ryan and Fabian, and they're like opposites attract type of romance. And I think my biggest thing was just Ryan was like overly insecure, and Fabian also was just like doing a lot, okay? Don't get mad at the hockey player for doing his job. Like, I don't know. I feel like they're opposites attract, but personally, they didn't need to be together. Like, they were too opposite to be attracted to each other. Like, it was crazy. I really don't have anything else to say besides that. Like, it was just the same arguments, like round and round and round the whole entire book. It didn't seem like we got any resolution until like 90% way through the book. So I feel like the book was longer than it needed to be. I feel like it was too many opposites. Like, y'all have to have something in common. It felt like the biggest thing they had in common was like their shared history of like way back when, and that's what kind of held them together. And I was like, y'all, it's been like 10-15 years, y'all gotta let that go. But yeah, I you know what, I have nothing else. Would I recommend this? I don't know, but it is the third book in the series. So like, I read it and I didn't DNF it because I want to read the whole series. So like, if it was a standalone, I would not recommend it, but because it is a part of a series, read at your own risk, okay? Read with caution. All right, y'all. That is the end of my Q2 reading wrap up. I'm locked in for the rest of the year. Because I refuse to go out sad, okay? If you've read any of these books that I talked about in the video, let me know. Did you like them? Did you not like them? What's tea? Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hype this video up. I don't know if you can hype my videos yet, but if you can, hype me up. Until the next chapter, happy reading.